Chelsea is jumping in as well. All right, I am going to try and pin you both. How about that?
Hello?
Can you hear me okay, Chelsea?
Yep.
All right, perfect. We've got you and Plum on at the same time. Anne-Marie Anderson is our primary question asker today. So Anne-Marie, just let us know who you're directing the question to. And
Okay.
go on ahead.
Okay, I'll start by correcting you, Jiggy. It's 2 and 10, not 2 and 4 for driving. That would cause left turn.
No wonder I get in so many accidents. My bad.
I'll start with Plum since she was on first. Just asking, versus Abubawale defensively for this team, what do you guys want to accomplish? As a team, you've been holding her to half of her average against other guards.
Yeah, I think it's team defense. So I mean, they target her a ton, and she's has the ball in her hands a ton, and so a lot of times I think you have to play both the post and the guard. But for this game, the big's got to be up, and as guards, we really got to put a lot of pressure on the ball, get through things, and just make her take tough shots. She can score. She's obviously super explosive. She can go right, she can go left. She can score on all three levels. So it's not necessarily about like limiting her from having the ball. She's going to have the ball. It's just making it tough when she has it.
What's the conversation that you and Bebe have had about holding your defensive players, Courtney Williams, as an example?
Yeah, I just think make it tough for her to catch it in terms of like where she catches it, a little bit further out, top blocker if we can, just kind of disrupt her rhythm. Like we said, she's one of the best scorers in the league, and so it's about trying to make her take tough shots and have a low percentage, and then we gang rebound and go the other way. So me and Bay have always I think done a really good job of taking turns on whoever's guarding her in the possession, and like I said, the bigs help out a ton because they add that extra element of like helping, being high, hands high. So it should be a fun battle.
Great, thank you. And then Chelsea, with ever-changing lineup there, I don't know if the teams looked better than they did versus the Lynx. In your eyes, what were you seeing that made that game and so many different players look available for your 14 teams?
I think it was just our movement and us getting the ball from side to side and just playing off of each other, and things were just happening naturally and organically. Like nothing felt like it was really forced in that game. We were just taking what the defense gave us, and we were getting into the paint, whether it be finishing at the rim ourselves or dishing it off. So once you get 2 feet in the paint, like a lot of good things start to happen.
The last few games with Liz out for time, Derek out for time, this team has really shown some flexibility. We've seen different lineups on the floor. I'm wondering, kind of if we're pumping Bill up a bit, kind of what that says about your coaching staff, including Bill, Tanisha, Vanessa, in terms of being able to flex and change with these lineups. Look at that smile.
I think it's nice that they're able to sub and get different lineups in there, and we can play off each other, whether it be De'Erica at the 3 or she's coming in at the 4, or we have a smaller lineup, a bigger lineup. Like it's so, versatile. People can play different positions, whether I'm at the 1 or at the 2, or Plum's at the 1 or at the 2. Like people can be in different spots, and then everything just kind of flows. Like people just settle into where they're supposed to be offensively. And then defensively, like we're able to switch some things in transition, like a post could be covering a guard at sometimes. So I think it speaks to them being able to, make the substitutions and put people out there that can be successful.
Where does this team feel to you defensively compared to other teams that you've been on? We were just talking about how everyone on this team defensively is so good. Sometimes it's hard to all defensive team to figure out who's most deserving. How does this team feel to you as a whole defensively?
I kind of have a tough time like hearing what that question said. I don't know, Plum, you heard it?
Yeah, so it's about our team defense and how and I'm going to actually pile on your question, Anne Marie, because it was kind of related to something I was going to ask. But just the Aces team defense, we don't have people who block 5 shots a game or pick up a ton of steals. It's really a team defensive effort. So where does this team defense sort of rank in terms of the other teams you've played with? And what makes it special?
I think it's just different. Like our ability to, like at some point, I think against Minnesota, like I was guarding the 4 and Asia was guarding Nafisa at the 3. Like our ability just to be so versatile and to know each other's strengths, right? Like I'm not picking up the ball full court. Plum probably is, and she's gonna be in there and make it tough on them. But like we understand where each other and how the puzzle kind of fits and how the pieces fit. And I think that's the strength of a good team, is like every team isn't going to be the same defensively, just how to get the most out of the player next to you when you're out there.
If I can follow up on the defensive question, as somebody who played against the Aces for the past couple of seasons, the Aces had the first most efficient defense in the league 2 years ago, second last year, and second this year. What was it like going up against the Aces as a team defense? What did they do particularly well that sets them apart when, once again, it is, and you sort of answered that a little bit with the way that you are all able to guard different spots on the ball. But what is it specifically about the Aces defense that's different?
Like when I was playing against the Aces?
Yeah.
I just gave them buckets. So that's really hard for me, Jiggy, like to really answer that question. You know what I'm saying? But if I were to like maybe think outside of the box a little bit, I would probably say like, again, like their versatility, like on certain moments, you can have a hard hedge on the screen or you can have a switch. So it really just depends. But the ability of like guarding the paint, like everybody wants to get in the lane. Like that's the easiest shot, or you can kick out for a shot. So I think their ability it's been the ability of packing the paint, but also able to get out on guards and recover quickly and not give up easy stuff in transition. But that's outside looking in. I might have got a few buckets, you know what I'm saying?
And then final defensive question of the day, perhaps. I've been a little annoyed over the past couple of years because we have had such a good defense, but we really haven't been able to get anybody some individual love. 2 years ago, we didn't have anybody on the all defensive teams. Last year, we had Asia as a second team member. If you were going to single out one of your teammates, and I know that's a tough question to ask, but who do you think is sort of maybe the most underrated, who you'd love to see get some love? And then what about Bay?
Her ability to stay in place. She guards. Yeah, depends on who we're playing, but she guards the hardest, guard that we play against. She's going to be matched up against Enrique. Plum comes in there and does her thing, but for me, I would say Bay. Like she doesn't talk a lot. She's not telling everybody in the media like she needs to be this or that, or yeah, I'm gonna guard her and I'm gonna lock her. Like that's just not Bay. But she goes out there, she does her job. She makes it difficult for people to score. She's in the right position. Sometimes Tanisha's yelling at her like, that's not what you're supposed to do, babe. She's like, yeah. So I just really appreciate, like she's kind of flipped her mindset a little bit, or altered it, I would say, from the previous years of playing with her. So seeing her growth and now how she's playing defense, like super proud of the way she's been playing.
Anne Marie, sorry we dropped Kelsey. Her phone conked out on us, but
Oh, that's all right. My question.
She just wanted me to answer the questions. That's all.
Exactly.
Great. Anyway, and talking about the MVP contenders, I think one of the things that's lost is that people don't realize that Asia has not missed a game. All the other MVP contenders have. If you can speak a little bit to Asia's consistency throughout the year and showing up whenever they.
Did you hear that, Bay? Or Bay? Chelsea?
About Asia and showing up in consistency, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it speaks to the type of player that she is. Like every single night she's going to bring it and they have to guard her. Like there's not times where you could take possessions off or days off of being attentive to where she is on the floor. And she draws so much attention. So sometimes people are closing out for threes and she has the old board. or somebody is paying attention to Bay coming off a pick and roll. So, you know, she's right there screening or rolling. She's trying to be better at setting screens, you know what I'm saying? But like just she's able to score at the two when she's not at the two. She's able to score 2-point shots. Like she's able to stretch the floor and hit those short corner J's or elbow J's, or she's getting to the free throw line. I think a big part of it is her aggression and getting to the free throw line. Like they have to show bodies, and sometimes they're late, so therefore she's getting to the free throw line. And like consistently doing that every single night, it speaks to the type of player she is.
Finally, I don't know if they've had trouble hearing you. What's your relationship with Becky Hammond? Have you had much interaction with her?
I couldn't
With
hear that.
relationship with Becky Hammond? Is that what you said? Andrew?
I've just watched from afar. I've never really, I can't say that I have like a relationship with her. Obviously know of her, met her a few times. But I wish I was able to, know her a little bit more, or how she thinks the game, but I'm sure that will come in time.
Can you help me so that Chelsea can hear just what it means in terms of Chelsea being able to see Becky's jersey being retired? What would it that Chelsea would want to talk to her about?
Just how she sees the game, like how she makes everybody better, how she was so dominant. She's not that big of a guard, but she changed like dynamics of teams that she's played with. Obviously in San Antonio, like her name, itself, like it speaks to the type of player she was. The accolades will come, but the way she, dedicates herself to this game. But I would basically sit down in conversation and I would talk about like her mindset, how she thinks the game from both a coaching perspective and as a player. Like she's been both, and how that kind of changed, and how if she was a coach, how she could have been a better player now that she's looking the outside kind of in.
Awesome. Thanks.
We'll
let you go, Chelsea, and see you tomorrow at shooter practice.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.